Want to see more cool videos on our channel? We do, so press this bell and enable to send notifications.
Zombies are something most people write off as purely fiction, something you only ever see in video games and films. What if I told you that there have actually been several cases of zombies in real life and countless examples in nature? What if scientists had actually invented a way to create zombies which could potentially be used as a devastating weapon? Number 10. The CONOP 8888 files. The US military has always been the one place in government with a plan, forever in preparation mode and ready to yank a blueprint off the shelf for almost any contingency. Need a response for a Russian nuclear missile? Check. Have to rescue a US ambassador kidnapped by drug lords? Yep, check, got that covered. How about a detailed strategy for surviving a zombie apocalypse? As it turns out, check. Incredibly, the Defense Department has a response if zombies attacked and the armed forces had to eradicate flesh-eating walkers in order to preserve the sanctity of human life among all the non-zombie humans. Buried in the military's secret computer network is an unclassified document obtained by Foreign Policy called CONOP 8888. It's a zombie survival plan, a how-to guide for military planners trying to isolate the threat from a menu of the undead, from chicken zombies to vegetarian zombies and even evil magic zombies, and destroy them. CONOP 8888, otherwise known as Counter-Zombie Dominance, dated April 30th, 2011, is no laughing matter, and yet of course it is. As its authors note in the document's disclaimer section, this plan was not actually designed as a joke. Number 9. Toxoplasma gondii. Toxoplasma gondii is a neat little brain parasite that primarily infects rats. Once infected, it manipulates the brain of the rat. Instead of being fearful of and running away from cats, the rat starts to seek out cats. Studies have shown that Toxoplasma gondii-infected rats are attracted to the smell of cats and cat urine. Infected rats like to approach cats and be killed or eaten by them. Then the parasite moves to the cat, where it can breed. There have also been cases of Toxoplasma gondii infecting humans who presumably got it from their cats. So far, there haven't been any conclusive links between abnormal human behavior and Toxoplasma gondii carriers yet. By the way, more than 60 million people in the United States alone may be infected with Toxoplasma parasite. Good luck sleeping. Number 8. Claims of Peter Cummings. Peter Cummings, a scientist from Boston University, states that several diseases and conditions already exist that could cause someone to be viewed as a zombie. A zombie apocalypse might even seem possible if an outbreak of these conditions spread rapidly and mutated. According to Cummings, the key to understanding the potential for these conditions to produce zombie traits was to examine the shutdown of the frontal lobe of the brain. He claimed that this resets the mind to its primal survival instincts, which is a zombie-like state. Even more interesting and disturbing are some cases from history. For example, several people were already suffering from such a condition during the 1918 Spanish flu outbreak. These individuals experienced encephalitis lethargica in connection with the flu virus. They fell into a stupor and eventually became catatonic. However, any stimulation from another person during this time made these patients go berserk. For what it's worth, Cummings works in an advisory capacity for the Zombie Research Society, an organization dedicated to the historical, cultural and scientific study of the living dead. Number 7. OPHIOCORDYCEPS. OPHIOCORDYCEPS is a genus of parasitic fungus whose species attacks different species of insects in the jungles of Africa. For ants, the spores of the fungus infect individuals and take over their brains. The fungus instructs the ant to climb up the stalk of a plant and attach itself to the underside of a leaf about 25 centimeters above the ground. That's when the ant dies and the fungus begins to grow a stalk right out of the head of the dead ant. After a few days, when the stalk is fully grown, it unleashes more deadly spores and the process begins again. Could OPHIOCORDYCEPS fungus eventually evolve to infect humans? That's the plot of the post-apocalyptic video game The Last of Us. So, maybe. Number 6. Zombie virus. In the zombie flicks 28 Days Later and I Am Legend, an unstoppable viral plague sweeps across humanity, transforming people into mindless monsters with cannibalistic tendencies. Though dead humans can't come back to life, certain viruses can induce such aggressive zombie-like behavior. For instance, rabies, a viral disease that infects the central nervous system, can drive people to be violently mad, according to Samita Andriansky, a virologist at the University of Miami's Miller School of Medicine in Florida, who also appears in the documentary. Combine rabies with the ability of a flu virus to spread quickly through the air, and you might have the makings of a zombie apocalypse. Unlike movie zombies, which become reanimated almost immediately after infection, the first signs a human has rabies, such as anxiety, confusion, hallucinations, and paralysis, don't typically appear for 10 days to a year, as the virus incubates inside the body. Number 5. Haitian zombies. Throughout history, there have been numerous reports of zombies on the island nation of Haiti. While it's difficult for modern researchers to substantiate many of these claims, they do make you think. In 1997, an English medical journal launched an investigation of 3 supposed cases of zombification in Haiti. Out of the 3 alleged zombies they studied, they concluded that none of them were actually zombies. One, they said, was suffering schizophrenia, and the other 2 were cases of mistaken identities. However, the study looked at just 3 cases. There have been many more throughout history that no one has researched critically. Could there be a zombie secret hiding in the wilderness of Haiti, waiting for its chance to strike? Number 4. Hymeneoepimesis agrophaga. Afraid of wasps? Good. Now you're going to be terrified of them. The tropical wasp species Hymeneoepimesis agrophaga is a parasite in the strongest sense of the word. These wasps target orb weaver spiders and use them as hosts for their young. When it comes time to lay their eggs, the female wasp will search for an orb weaver, sting it, which paralyzes the spider, and lay her eggs on the spider's abdomen. If that sounds bad, it gets worse. Not long after the eggs are laid, the larvae hatch and stay attached to the spider, sucking its blood. Several weeks of this, and the larvae begin injecting an as yet unknown chemical into the spider. The chemical takes over the spider's brain, and it begins weaving a cocoon for the larva. Once the cocoon is finished, the brain-controlled spider just sits inside of it, waiting for the next phase of the larva to molt. When the newly molted larvae arrive, they eat the spider and spend their next weeks in the cocoon. A few weeks later, the larvae become adult wasps, and everything starts all over again. Yet another reason to carry bug spray all of the time. Number 3. Space zombies. 2 scientists have written a paper claiming a zombie apocalypse wiped life out on other planets, leaving behind space zombies. Yep, astronomers Stephen Kane and Frank Zelzes, who together represent the quite serious-sounding institutions of San Francisco State University, the Center for Global Extinction Pandemic Control, and the Planetary Defense Institute, wrote in a research paper, there could be more than 2,500 zombie-infested planets in our solar system. Oh snap. And I really mean that. Oh snap. Spontaneous necroanimation psychosis, the scientific name for zombieism. Kane and Zelzes say in their report, prevalent life in the universe represents a serious danger to the risk of spreading SNAP. As such, it stands to reason that this could be a cosmic-wide phenomenon. Maybe it's all the oxygen down here, but I'm confused. It's certainly a chilling prospect, especially if humans ever venture beyond the moon or even Mars. If these potential space explorers do return from such a journey, might they bring back something as deadly as a zombie virus? One that might kill all life on our planet? Number 2. It happens fast. One thing is certain, if such a zombie virus did spread, it would do so quickly. In addition, it would infect a large portion of the world's population equally rapidly. Perhaps we only need to look at how quickly coronavirus travels the world to appreciate this. Let's imagine a zombie bug did enter the general population. It would probably take the world's scientists and medical experts by complete surprise and on the back foot, especially if such a virus was unleashed intentionally by an extremist of some kind. If such an unlikely scenario occurred, it really could result in a desperate situation for humanity, one so dire that we just might not recover. When we view the idea of zombies in those terms, the prospect doesn't appear so laughable, regardless of how unlikely it is to happen. Number 1. Bath salts. In the hours after Rudy Eugene chewed the face off a homeless man, Ronald Popo, near the MacArthur Causeway, and was fatally shot by cops, a Miami police spokesman speculated that a synthetic drug might have driven Eugene's madness. It's believed that Eugene was under the influence of bath salts at the time of the attack. Sadly for us zombie apocalypse speculators, it's hard to tell if the bath salts made Eugene mad or if he was already mentally unstable. In either case, it's probably a good idea to stay away from bath salts and bath salt enthusiasts. While it's significantly more likely that the world will end in a mushroom cloud or a climate change-induced environmental disaster, you should never rule out a zombie apocalypse. After all, there are quite a few members of the animal kingdom that abuse the ability to zombify other creatures. Humans may be next. Thank you so much for watching, and if you enjoyed the video, please let me know by clicking the like button. Do share, write a comment, and don't forget to subscribe so that you can catch up my next video.